Hi there, welcome to my Elite Dangerous video for the recent update 3.3 Chapter 4 Beyond. In this video I'm going to show you through a few of the changes, for example scanners, full spectrum scanner, there's some new ships to show, planetary mining and mining. There's some significant differences making it, I think, a bit more fun. So without further ado, let's crack on. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at will be the systems panel, number 4 on your keyboard. Instead of the reputation on the right, we have 6 boxes. We got Codex, Galnet News, Hollow Me, Engineers, Galactic Powers and Squadrons. The first tab along, Modules, is the same as before, as it's Fire Groups. Then we can move along to a new tab, Ship. On Ship we got 3 options: functions, where you can toggle on and off external lights, night vision, new feature, and other parts of your ship. Next option on the Ship tab is the pilot preferences, again some toggles for display, clock and so on, and then we have statistics for your ship, jump range and all that sort of thing. Inventory is the same as before pretty much. Then you have status, where you've got system factions. You have nothing on the local system here, but it can have your local system factions. Your reputation, this is where you find the reputation for your superpowers. You have a session log, which we didn't have before. Quite handy. I think the Elite was missing this before, so I'm quite pleased that they've added this. A nice basic overview of where you've been. Finance, just an overview of your financial situation and your permits for different systems. And you also have a playlist, which I haven't completely looked at as yet. So we'll go back to the first tab and look at the 6 boxes. And we'll start with squadrons. Now I haven't actually looked at this in any detail. All I can see is that you can create a squadron for the cost of 10 million credits, and that's all I know. It's something to do a video on, I think. We'll come back to this another day. Engineers, Galactic Powers, Hollow Me and Galnet News are self-explanatory. We've had them in the past. So we move over to Codex. In Codex you've got 3 options: Commander, Discoveries and Knowledge Base. So we'll take a look in the Commander. And here you've got Session Log, got a right hand box highlighting the discoveries at the current system. Then we have Stats. And here you'll find all your different stats: combat, crime, smuggling, trading, etc. And you've got an archive, so you can see what you've been finding. There we had some just tourist beacons that I found. Knowledge base, self-explanatory. And then we move on to the discoveries. This is a really good tool if you're exploring. You can pick different sectors of the galaxy, and it will tell you that there are reports of certain objects, planets, stars, etc. Biological and geological. Essentially, it's a tool to help you explore. You can go out and find what people have reported, confirm them, and even look for rumoured ones. Now, I've never found any rumoured ones. I haven't even seen anything that's been rumoured, so at the moment it's just a rumour. Okay, so let's look at scanning. There's only one scanner you will actually need to buy now, as all the other scanners are built into your ship. That is, if you go to outfitting, optional internal, and it's the detailed surface scanner, which now has probes. This is what you use for scanning and for your full spectrum system scan. And in case you don't know what that means, all will become apparent shortly. Now, if you look at your fire groups, you will see some fire groups for your data scanner, which is already on your ship, composition scanner, discovery scanner, and your detailed surface scanner. Now, this is what you will use for scanning. The discovery scanner, you used to be able to buy better ones so that they were infinite, etc. Now it's just one scanner. There is no upgrade for that. And then we have bindings. There are some key bindings you're going to have to look at. And if we just quickly look at the key bindings, you'll see what I mean. It's quite involved. I will be doing a video on the scanning, key bindings, etc. But this is an overview rather than a tutorial. But hopefully you'll get something from it anyway. So if we go to the options, controls, you will see there's a few things we need to change or at least set up if you haven't already done so, and that will be your mode switches, in particular the Switch Hud Mode. Now I've got this set up to left shift and joystick button 6, and this allows you to switch between the analysis and combat cockpit modes. You cannot scan while in combat, and you cannot be in combat while you're in analysis mode. So that's something to remember. If all of a sudden you can't fire, you might be in the wrong mode. The other key bindings you will need to look at will be the full spectrum system scanner. And if I scroll this down, as you can see, there's quite a lot of settings to set up. As I said, there will be a video on this because it is quite in depth, and there's a lot of key bindings. You've also got some on the detailed surface scanner. You've got different bindings that you'll have to create. Again, there's quite a few of them. You can always pause the video and see what I'm using. That might give you some help at this point. So let's leave the station and we go and find somewhere to scan a system, and you'll see how it works. So as we arrive at the system, we use a discovery scanner as before and honk the system, and we've found 9 bodies. So we open the system map. These are unexplored, and what we're going to do is we're going to explore all of these from the full spectrum scanner. So we come down to 0 speed. We don't want to be flying around too much. I'm going to try and get them on some sort of plane so I can see them, and then I'm going to hit the full spectrum system scanner, and I'm going to look for the planets. Now, you'll have to look at the key bindings for this. so that we can find them. And then you have to basically tune in to where you're going. And there we are, we found the gas giant. This will scan the planet. It's not a surface scanner fully, but this does give you all the details you need. You can also find conflict zones. And then we found another gas giant, class 1. Another type 1 gas giant. Tune in. Threat 2. And you get all these details on each what you're scanning. But you have to tune in. Well, we found an icy body. Tells us everything about it. Another icy body. Well, you get the idea. What we're actually doing is we're looking for all these signals, and as we get them, we analyze them without flying to each one. Now, we found all the bodies available. And here you can see there's 28 signals, 9 bodies. We found the 9. So we can come out of this now. Right, so now we leave the full system scanner. If we go back to the map, you will see that they're no longer unexplored, but they now tell us about the system. And you can also see it's a metal rich with depleted reserves. Not worth mining, but now we can do a surface scan on these as we did before. How you did it before, you flew up to the planet and it automatically started scanning. That's not how it works anymore. So now we're going to choose from the map, we'll choose to go here, and we're going to do a detailed surface scan of this planet. Now this is set to my fire button 2, and I have to fly up to it and then release some probes. Don't go too fast, you will overshoot. So when you get down to around about 12 seconds, I reduce speed to about 75%, 70%. Glide in, then stop once I can see the planet. There's a lot more to scan in this. You can sort of get a lot more information. It could be a lot more involved. But like I've said, this is not a tutorial. It's an overview to give you an idea of what's going on. If you can get anything from this, great. But I do need to do a video that shows you much more of what's going on. When you get close enough, the surface scanner will come into range. At the moment it's out of range. It will be in range really soon. It's quite a big planet, this one, so you feel like you're quite close to it. Too fast, so we close down to 0. Hit that surface scanner, and then I've got this set up to my mouse. We release the probes. We launch probes. If you fire one in the center, we just go straight off and hit in the center. And watch what happens when it gets there. And you can see how much of the probe has scanned. We need to scan the whole system. Now, that line is basically going to hit what we can see as the edge, the horizon. And further out you go, just before you get to miss, you can fire. 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 You can also scan rings with this, which I shall show you later for mining. Did we lose a probe there? I see one going off down there somewhere. Oh! Well, seems like I'm missing some of these. We've chosen a big planet and it needs a lot of probes. Some planets only need like 3 probes. Some even 1. On the bottom left there, you'll see 82% of the planet's been mapped, which means it's getting close to being done. And what you're basically doing is firing probes at the planet to cover as much of it as possible. See if we can hit a big section here on the backside. If we get one good hit, it will actually be completed. There we are, and it's done. I even got a target bonus. Now you get extra credits for this when you hand this in. When you had in your exploration data. So that's it. We've now done a planetary scan, surface scan of that planet. Depending on what the planet is, you'll get more money. Like if you look at a water world or Earth type world or terraformable world, you get quite a lot more credits for doing a detailed surface scan. It's also great if you're doing some planets with land that's landable. Then you'll get to see more of what's on the planet, even geological sites where you can go and mine, and I'll show you that a little bit later. But that's basically your scanning. There is more to scanning when you're doing mining or exploring, but this is a basic overview to give you an insight of what you can expect from the scanning system. When doing a detailed surface scan, one of the things you might find of interest are the locations up on the right hand side there. And we have geological 24 on this planet. What we can do is we can go and explore that further and probably mine some outcrops there, which I shall show you now. Let's pick this planet here. which we just scanned with the geological signals, and we'll fly over to the planet and land on it. Here we are, just coming in.
Orbital flight engaged.
I would assume you know how to land on a planet. If not, there will be videos on planetary mining. So here we can see some rising steam or something. This is the geological site, number 22, surface signal. Now before we'd have to fly around, drive around the planet looking for little outcrops to mine, and it can take absolutely ages. I believe you can still do that, but this gives us a place to actually start looking. So let's get in our SRV. Of course, you'll need an SRV to do this. Right, that cluster there was too close. Yeah, we'll go to one a bit further away from the ship so we can fire on it. There you get a cluster. And it's dropped quite quickly. Seem to be having some trouble picking it up here. Would help if I targeted it. So it's cadmium. And we pick it up with our cargo scoop open. And just pick up this one as well. And that basically is planetary mining in a nutshell. Now with the new update, mining has taken on a new form, whereby you can scan the actual rings and find out where there's high deposits. So if we hit the ring with one of our probes, obviously if the planet has a ring, you'll see it scans it. We have some orange blobs, and those blobs are places that you want to mine. So let's go and mine some. I'm going to fly into one of the orange lit areas on the asteroid belt, or planetary belt, whatever you call it. There we are, we arrive at the ring, highlighted spot, drop out, don't go too fast. I switch on night vision because it's not easy to see the asteroids. I really do like this night vision feature. And then we're going to use something called the pulse wave. And what that does is it highlights asteroids that may have a larger deposits. Well, I think they're meant to have larger deposits. And once we find one, set off a prospector probe as we do normally, but now we've got at least something rather than a random asteroid. We're going to choose one of these highlighted ones. Now when you shot the prospector probe before, it would tell you the composition of the asteroid, and then you'd use your mining lasers to mine and pick up with collector limpets. And when this hits, you'll see again we've got the composition, We've also got some writing in blue on the left hand side saying core detected platinum. This means that we can now use something called a seismic charge, fire them into the asteroid at the areas marked fissure, and basically blow the asteroid apart and collect the materials that come out of the explosion. And we'll just show you that quickly. This isn't a comprehensive mining tutorial, it's just to show you some of the new features.
Detonation sequence initiated.
So now we have a detonation sequence. On the top right you'll see there's a guide to show how many seismic charges you need to place. And so we have 2 charges in there. Now we have 3. It's getting closer to being at the point where we think that that's enough. If you don't put enough in, it won't blow up. And there we are. It's come blue on the top right hand side. I think we're ready to let that blow. We've got just under 30 seconds left. Boom. Quite dramatic. And now you have a load of platinum deposits to pick up, which I've sent out my collector limpets to pick up for me. And that's a seismic charge, one of the new mining tools. Another new mining tool is the Subsurface Displacement Missile, and what that does is there are certain materials that are stuck just under the surface of the asteroid, and you use the Dispersal Missile to release those materials. So we'll use that now. So there's nothing of value here, but I just want to show you the way it works. It really isn't that easy to use. It takes some practice, especially when you've got a moving asteroid. And what you've got down the left hand side is you have to keep your finger on the fire button until blue line comes out to tell you it's good to release. And there we go, down the left hand side, it gets to blue, release the trigger, and it releases one chunk.
Programming limpet drone. Cargo scope deployed.
Try one more. Now we've got entry, wait for the blue, See down the left hand side, now I release the trigger. Now, job done. And we got one chunk.
Scan detected.
And finally, we will use the Abrasion Blaster, and that's to remove surface deposits. And then what you do is you target it, fire the Abrasion Blaster. So you've got to be quite close, it seems. There we go. Again, you've got to target it right. Once you don't get hit by the asteroid, it can be quite treacherous. Hooray! And we get a chunk off. Obviously this takes some practice to do. But there you have the 3 new types of mining tools, and of course you've got the mining lasers as well, as always, which is just a fire on the asteroid. And there you go. Off comes some resources, which my limpets will pick up. And finally, let's take a look at the 2 new ships that you can buy since the update. So we've got the Mamba. It cost you 55 million. Oh, nearly 56 million. I haven't really tried these ships out fully. I've just had a quick fly in them. The Mamba's quite pretty, nice and red. Quite sporty looking. Feels a little nimble, but hard to tell when you're just coming out of a space station. Oops, a bit close. Sounds quite cool. Yeah, I do look forward to trying this out fully. I'll do a review. Couldn't seem to retract the landing gear, which is a little bit annoying because they look like a spare part dangling underneath. But maybe they'll fix that. Yep, definitely looking forward to trying this fully. And then we have the Phantom. This cost just 37.5 million, a little bit cheaper. Again, great sound. Looks pretty from the back. Not as impressed with this ship. I will give it a full testing and let you know what I think. Give it some upgrades, take it into battle. So there you have it. That's my video on the 3.3 update as an overview. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you want to see more, and obviously like the video. And I'll be back soon with some more entertainment and tutorials.